Hey, what's going on, guys?
What
This is
up?
Jay Wallace, Dr. New Life, as they call me. This is just a live test run for the First Down Show. So let me introduce some of my co-hosts, Tyke the Boss, A.W. Lavelle, and Wolf. What's going on, guys?
What's poppin'?
Yeah, boy, what's Boogie?
Okay, what's happening?
So, hey, how about Tom Brady going into the 10th? The 10th. Why?
Um, I say kudos to him, but just to keep, I feel like I feel like that NFC Championship game. If they was gonna call it, they should have called it all. Because I saw a lot of missed calls on both sides of the ball, and it wasn't until that last PI that they decided to call pass interference. And I'm telling, like, to be honest, I watched the whole game beginning to end. If they was going to call that one, they should have definitely called the one on Alan Lazard, because Alan Lazard was wide open, had a step on what's his face, a name not coming to mind, but he yanked my man Jersey so hard to get that interception that he pulled it off his shoulder pad.
Yeah.
I mean, that was PI at his finest, and it was basically ain't routing out, just opposite direction. That's all. But kudos to TB12 for going again, especially with a different team and his first being with them. You know what I'm saying? He definitely works hard. He is a GOAT. I wouldn't say he's the GOAT, but that's just my opinion.
I feel he's the best quarterback. They're gonna make him the best quarterback in the ever touched of football. Period.
That's what they're trying to say, but I personally don't think so.
That's what they're talking about, though.
I don't know. For me, like I always had, I don't know, my reservations with Tom when he was up there with the Patriots, only because it just seemed like they did everything to just put it together for him to win. And I felt like if he went to another organization, there's no way that he'd be able to kind of just
easily breeze by and get to where he was.
Yeah, so it just looks like another run of the Patriots, except they got different uniforms. You know what I'm saying?
See if you think about it, you're absolutely right. Because in a sense, if you sit back and look at it, when Tom Brady decided to sign with the Bucks, he brought a quarter of the
everything
offensive line with him.
Yeah,
he brought Gronk out of retirement, and he even talked Bruce Arians into picking up Antonio Brown, which in the beginning of the season, Bruce Arians said he does not foresee Antonio Brown being a part of the. But it took 8 weeks maybe, and Tom talked him into giving Antonio Brown a contract, moved Antonio Brown in his house, counseled him, trained with him and all that. And I mean, I call it Brady privilege. Ain't nothing wrong with being a team player. I heard he's a cool guy in real life. I don't know Tom Brady personally, but all I'm saying is I call that Brady privilege as far as the NFL goes, because just like you said, Type, they constantly put things around him to put him in a position to win.
I'm about to say, it's more than just him. I mean, the league got a history of doing that kind of thing. Like,
they picked their golden boy. Yeah, they picked their golden boy.
Yeah, Montana.
But you also got to realize that he's not going to go anywhere that he doesn't have control over.
Yeah, exactly. That's absolutely right.
If he's the GOAT, he's the man. He's going to look. If you notice, he took half of the Patriots with him.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of Peyton Manning without Peyton Manning ever really having to deal with another team for real.
But Peyton Manning, if you look at both of them, Peyton Manning went to a whole different team. He had a whole different system, but they just knew how he runs his system.
That's true.
And see, he won with the system that he had. Tom Brady had to build his system wherever he went. And then you're talking about Brian Leftwich. Now, shout out to Lori Locust, is one of the coaches I know. I've had the pleasure of working with, and she's an outstanding coach. But at the same token, you got Brian Leftwich, who's a former quarterback who has taken a team to a Super Bowl, so he's seen a Super Bowl, and he has a ring.
Yeah.
So he is the GOAT. I'll give him a man his props, but some will say he's cheated when he was with the Patriots. Some may say that
Stop him.
Well, I call him a sissy. And the reason why I call him a sissy is because of the simple fact that if you tug his jersey, he is spooked.
Yeah, he
gets
happy feet, and the funny thing about him getting happy feet is he is one of the slowest running QBs I've ever seen in my life.
Because he's a pocket passer.
My man can't get out the pocket for nothing, so he absolutely needs a line around him. Because if he get bumped too hard, he falls apart.
He's not a statue.
Yeah,
he's not a statue.
Yeah, if he get bumps too hard, he falls apart.
But you also got to understand, see, if you notice the difference between Patriots and TB, the only difference they have is just different people.
That's true.
He carried a line. If you notice, there was no breakage. People have sacked Tom Brady.
Right.
We all know that. Even Chase Young has put him on his rear.
Right.
Okay. But the whole fact of the matter is, what are you going to do with a line that is built to protect him? And all you need to give him is enough time in that pocket.
Right.
If you don't collapse that pocket within the less than 2 seconds, you got to force him out.
And honestly, Josh, that brings me to my next point. So, yes, TB12 is in the playoff. In the Super Bowl. Cool, kudos to him. But another young man is in the Super Bowl who I've been talking about since he was with Texas Tech, and nobody believed me. They just said, "Oh, he's just going to turn into a scramble quarterback in the NFL." I was like, "Watch what he do." Patrick Mahomes.
Who? Jesus?
Patrick Mahomes.
Jesus? Okay. His name is Jesus with the back of 15. That's what it is.
Oh man, Patrick Mahomes. Now,
the Messiah.
Now the point I'm trying to make is we've seen both of these quarterbacks against tough defenses. There's a point that both of these quarterbacks have been sacked against tough defenses. Both of these quarterbacks have thrown interceptions against tough defenses, right? But one rattles if he gets hit too much and one doesn't. Patrick Mahomes won that game with turf toe and just getting out of concussion protocol. You know what I'm saying? He wore cleats a size too big, so he can fit a protective padding into the cleat to not mess with the turf toe. Whatever.
It sounds like you're talking about true grit, but I think Tom got that too, though. You know what I'm saying?
But this is the point I'm getting at, though. The point I'm getting at is the Bucs, although they have a solid defense, I feel like the Chiefs' defense is a bit more aggressive as far as coming for the ball and getting after the quarterback. So there is a chance that Tom can get rattled in this game.
But see, here's the thing. The first thing you have to do is shut down the air ball.
That is very true.
Air game is always going to be Brady's.
That is very true.
But who's going to stop number 15?
Oh, you mean Fournette?
Who?
Who are you talking about?
Fournette.
He talking about Pat.
Well.
And this is my thing too. Think about this in coverage. What they gonna do with Tyreek Hill?
Hey, but there's too many strikers on the Chiefs. I'm trying to tell you. He got tight ends. He got
wide receivers. That's true.
He got split backs.
He has missiles.
Because Because, you know what I'm saying, Travis Kelce can hang in the category of Gronk because he got the size, the speed, and the catching ability.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Don't let him go down the center. It is a wrap.
That's it.
Slot,
He
get him in
turn
the
around, snatch it off the air. That's done deal.
and see, and he's been dubbed one of the toughest to deal with.
And if you think about it, go back to the AFC Championship game. Tyreek Hill came 5 yards over the middle, caught the ball, weaved in between two tacklers, and then took it 71 yards and almost scored. My man was running so fast, he ran out of gas and couldn't get up for real. You know what I'm saying? Like they had to help him to the sideline to get a breather. You know what I mean?
Man.
What can you do with a man who got jets?
Yeah, like it's gonna be a tough one. You know?
Yeah.
And there is still a possibility. Now, don't get me wrong, TB12 can pretty much work with any receiver, you know, but Mike Evans wasn't showing up like he should have been in that championship game. He was there, but he wasn't playing to the Mike Evans that he can actually be, you know. So we'll see.
All right, so Ty, Mr. Tyke Boss.
Yeah.
So what else you think? What do you think about this upcoming season that newsflash, breaking news, there will not be a combine this year.
Yeah.
I heard they're going virtual.
Yo, that is going to be cold.
I said, let me jump on the internet and make up some stats for myself real quick and see if they can put the old boy out there for a couple of million. You know what I'm saying?
You might be able to slide in there because somebody did it last season. You know what I'm saying?
It's going to be a blizzard.
My vertical?
You hear me, man? Like I don't know, man, because to be honest, thinking about how the season is going to turn out, I mean, you got so many things. Like I know, like my boys, the Niners, we cannot retain. How many? I think we got at least, I think maybe like 20 jokers that's going into the free agency this season.
Yeah, y'all got one of the biggest groups going in the free agency, I think.
Exactly. We don't have the cap room to retain these guys. So it's just going to be interesting to see how other teams have to deal with these same type of issues.
Yeah.
And then you got teams like the Jets that's going to come in and they're going to clean house and they might just they might be a playoff team.
I'm gonna be real with you to that point. I feel like this upcoming season is going to be a lot of level playing field because just like you said, Tyke, with teams releasing all those players and not having the cap room to keep them, there's going to be a lot of these teams that got all the money in the world and they're gonna sift through the talent and go to town.
Yeah, I mean,
they can buy all of the players they want, but can they fit their system?
That's a good point too.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, the way you never, like I say, when it comes to the cap and the way that things are working, you know, there's going to be quite a few people that's going to have restructured contracts. You're going to have free agents out there that's going to take less than what they would normally take only because of the way the salary cap is working. So I think they can get risky and gamble when it comes to whether or not somebody might fit their system. You know?
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
You can get a little bit more risky out there. I mean, you got it's free pickings out here. And then I think they said that this is a quarterback rich draft coming up. So yep. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
So speaking of risk taking, breaking news, Haskins got signed.
Oh yeah, I peeped that.
Yeah, but usually like third string.
Aren't you a Steelers fan, Wolf?
Yeah, that's my son. That's team 2. That's team 2. I like my man. I didn't even want to be honest. I didn't want him on the Skins, and now he with the Steelers. Like I can't get him off.
But hold on. But wasn't Lavelle the one that said if he went to a tough coach, he will be able to work?
So, like I said, mark my words. That's going to be the biggest mistake Washington made.
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
I don't think so,
Getting,
bro.
getting rid of him.
Chance.
Now, look.
You give him a chance.
Hey, hold on. Lavelle.
How are you gonna say he was never got a chance when he was the starting quarterback?
You took the words out of my mouth.
With the C on his chest.
You took
Okay,
the
who
words
did he have
out
to work with?
Really? Who
he had the receiver that he been passing to for 2 whole seasons in college.
Do you understand?
That little mediocre receiver?
Do you
Terry
understand?
McLaurin is a mediocre receiver to you?
He's okay. He's not a number one receiver. That's not going there.
Who?
Oh my God.
McLaurin? You talking about him?
He is not a number one receiver.
You're tripping. You tripping, bro.
You need to go look at your
Sometimes them boys need a little bit more development. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the problem, and see, that's one of my points that I wanted to discuss about. One of the things that people don't realize is that in college ball, there's 100 players to every team,
Right.
and it takes a lot of time to get developed. Now, high school is really the place where you should be really getting all that training and all that development. But if you ever notice, most of those high school coaches do not really coach ball for real.
Right.
So
That's why you gotta go to some schools, some prestigious schools.
yeah, you have to go to private schools. You got to go to the upper echelon. I know one of my
Right camp.
the schools that I know, they didn't want to give him the program or let him build a program that he wanted to build. So he went to another school that actually allowed him to.
Right.
And now he's 15 years running with rings all over the place, and he was able to do more with what he has. And see, that's a problem with most high schools.
And
It's whoever come will.
And to piggyback on that, Josh, if you go back to I forget what interview it is, but if you go back and they asked Urban Meyer about Dwayne Haskins, he didn't necessarily say anything bad, but in his body language and the way he answered the question, you could tell he wasn't really too keen on Dwayne Haskins going to the league because exactly. And the sole comment he said was he just really has to mature.
Yeah, but see, also the other thing is when you talk about maturity level, we're not talking about is he, I'm over here doing this, I'm acting a fool, because he really didn't act a fool off the field, except for a few times that people don't agree with. But once again, you're talking about understanding the game of NFL.
Right.
College is not NFL.
Can you be a team leader on the field?
Exactly. You're talking about you got a Chris Johnson and Calvin Johnson running 4-something in pads.
Right.
You got Ocho Cinco running 4.2s, and he's lightning. He got breaks of a million, and he'll tell you where you're going to go, but yet he still beats you at the line of scrimmage or at wherever he's going to go in the game.
Right.
It's crazy. So you also got to understand in this game the size level. So you can be 6'6", but you can be some trash compared to the NFL.
Yep.
Why? Because the mechanics, the development, understanding the system of college versus the systems in the NFL. Because let me tell you, college stuff. Look, I'll give you one big one. Chip Kelly. He used a up-tempo college style play, and the NFL was like, oh my God, we ain't even seen this in a while. So, but it took like a Bill Belichick, it took an Andy Reid, it took somebody who's Joe Gibbs and all the rest of them to realize, oh, wait a minute, I know what you're doing.
Right.
They figured the system out, and Bill Belichick just ran through his whole system like it was
like it was Kleenex.
How can you tell a player is NFL ready?
Also by his mechanics, by his playmaking ability, also how he runs his routes, our ball IQ, making sure you know where your position is, where the ball is in the air.
Right.
Some of those things are really very, very key, especially for a quarterback. You have a window to throw it in.
Right.
And got to determine how fast you got to let that ball out your hand. And let's be real. People don't realize you got less than in the NFL is 3 seconds. In arena football, it's less than a second.
Yep.
To get the ball out your hand.
Arena football,
Now,
they're already in the backfield with you.
Yeah, exactly. And you will get pulverized by the time you be over the wall.
So you telling me if an NFL player leaves the NFL and goes to arena football, they'll get destroyed?
Yeah, that's why. No, destroyed. That you're playing in a box.
Yeah,
literally.
I've
field.
I've done security at arena football games. That field is small, bro.
You see, that's what it's and the reason why it was very difficult to really relate wide receivers from the AFL to the NFL is because it's a wide open field. Now, yes, they have speed, but their route running abilities is really nil to none. You also got to understand you got to be open at all times. That's a good skill to have.
Right.
But if you marry that over, you're shot. Okay, especially on in the NFL. Let me tell you something. You got linebackers, you got cornerbacks running, wide receiver speed.
Right.
You're running at that speed in pads,
and
pads add almost what 40-some pounds onto you.
And not to cut you off, Josh, but to revert back, if you like the way I knew was when. Not necessarily the first time he got on the field with us because he kind of got thrown to the wolves in that aspect because we really did not have a quarterback. But when he started this season, the thing that bothered me about him was, okay, we did good against Philly first game of the season, but there were certain things I saw. See, Dwayne Haskins has wheels. When you have wheels, use them. But the problem with Dwayne Haskins is when he draws back into the pocket, as much I get the love of being a pocket passer, but when he drew back into the pocket, he wouldn't even go over all his reads. He would study the person he knew he wanted to throw it to before he even dropped back. Before he got in position. And then if that person isn't open, instead of going over his reads, he would panic and then just sit back there and get sacked.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. What's the purpose of practice? They knew this from the beginning.
Because he was probably showing it at practice because there were no sense of alert.
See, remember, the speed in practice is not the same game speed.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Because of concussions and because also you got to understand the difference between college and pro ball, which is NFL. You're talking about massive 300-pound Mack trucks coming at you with speed.
Because I can even take it back to when I played high school. When we were in practice, I'm like, I know these guys, cool, blah 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 blah. We running through plays like it's nothing. But then game time come and I'm across the field from people that's twice, 2 and 3 times the size of everybody on my team. And I'm like, so I got to get through the line on him or I got to block him for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's every team throws a different nuance.
Yeah. And it's just something you got to be ready for.
Here's a comment that Bill Belichick said. Every time I play the Ravens, I said, oh, hell, I got to deal with Ray Lewis.
Yep.
He said Ray Lewis reads so well that he has to create. He would tell Tom Brady in his helmet, do not throw in that direction.
That's because he came in there like a gladiator. He was crazy.
And this is good. That's true.
The play the game.
That's true. Because
he was the student of the game.
Ray Lewis played 20 seasons without a mouthpiece. He was an assassin. Okay. To hit that hard and don't protect your fronts. All right.
Good night.
Nah, bro. My man did not have any regard for his dental plan or nothing. He was just like, yeah, you going to get hit.
Yeah.
I mean, but you also got to think about look at Ed Reed. Ed Reed was a monster in the safety realm.
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
You guys read packages for a living. They can see you. They see your eyes. Look, think about it this way. You're 50 some odd yards away from somebody. You sitting in the backfield in the secondary. and you can read the quarterback, his every move. Ed Reed come from out of coverage, into coverage, interception, and run into the house.
Mm-hmm.
That. Then you got Ray Lewis, who would read the quarterback so well that he could come from one side of the freaking field to the other, and then intercept the ball and keep going.
And the best example of this, the best example of this pertaining to Dwayne Haskins is when you have players like that on the defense on the opposite side of the ball. It goes back to Waterboy. You remember when the kicker was looking for who to kick the onside kick to? He was like, "Yeah, there's my B." That's what they look at when they see Dwayne Haskins in the backfield.
Oh,
they're like, "Ooh, he nervous." Okay, I used to play with defensive players like that. I know these guys, defensive players that know how to read like that. They be like, "Yeah," they be like, "Hey, Darnell, yeah."
Yeah, you can tell who's going to get the ball by their eyes.
He nervous.
No. Incorrect. You tell how they're going to do by the hips.
Yeah.
The hips will always give it away.
Body language give it to you.
And he flexed those hips to the left or to the right. Oh, you know where that ball's going.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
And it only takes a split second to see it. It only takes a split second to see it.
And you have to recognize it. Because, see, I'm going to tell you, Tom Brady does it all the time. He looks away and still throws the ball.
Yeah. It throws it off.
So, but you also got to understand. Think about it this way. Also, you got Chase Young, you got J.J. Watt. I mean, two monster DNs, monster. They're two. The thing is, you got to also realize they are the ones that got to get past the offensive line, and the next and they're you think the linebackers are the problem? No, your defensive ends are the problem.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They're always going to be your problem because if you don't watch the blitz, they will disguise the blitz like the DN is going to be blocking, and he'll go right through the line. And next minute, you see him sitting right on your right hand side or your left side. And see, there's the other thing about Chase Young is that he has the ability to play both sides.
Yeah,
that's insanity.
Yeah.
But look, so let's talk about this retirement situation. So we need to talk about Ben Roethlisberger supposed to be retiring. We talking about Drew Brees. I don't know why they let Drew Brees get back into the game when he needed to rest to sit out the end of that game. The quarterback that was already in, I do forget his name. Just let him finish.
You talking about which way do I throw Coach Winston? That's what you talking about?
Yeah.
That fool.
My man.
Where did I throw?
My man, like Coach. So Coach, I'm gonna try to only throw 3 interceptions this game. Okay.
You got to give the man some props.
I do.
He has actually made it somewhere.
He has.
He made it. He made it. Yeah.
So who's supposed to come behind Drew Brees?
Well,
I don't know. To be honest, I honestly feel like if they work with Taysom Hill, he can do it because Taysom Hill is talented. He's not an every down quarterback. I'll give you that. Honestly, if I were coaching, I would convert Taysom Hill to an H-back straight off the bat. Taysom Hill can run. He like another version of Peyton. He like another version of Peyton Hillis. Taysom Hill can run, and he can. Taysom Hill reminds me a bit of Mike Allstott.
Well, yeah, that's true. But also think about Ben Roethlisberger. Ben also, you could have made him a fullback.
Yeah, most definitely. You could have made Big Ben a tight end.
No, you'll never make him a tight end.
Why not?
No. He's too big. He drops his shoulder and runs through you.
Yeah.
As a quarterback, look at some of his injuries. Go back and look at some of his injuries. His injuries was to his shoulder, to his wrist, to his arm. Stuff like that.
True.
Those were horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, they kept saying, "Slide, man, slide."
He like, nah, I'm just running him over.
He will blast the hole.
Why not?
But the crazy thing is, one of the people he credited to him doing that is my favorite player, my favorite NFL player of all time, which is the whole reason that the Steelers are my number 2 team since I was 8 years old when they traded for him, Jerome Bettis.
Oh,
yeah, Jerome Bettis.
Yeah.
Sleep. That boy would put people to sleep. He'd give people concussions.
Yeah. Jerome Bettis and Big Ben, they developed a beautiful relationship as far as teammates and friends. And Ben said he learned a lot from Jerome Bettis.
I'm sorry. How do you get tackled from the offense? I mean,
he give you a concussion. How you get concussion getting hit by this dude?
If you just,
it's impossible.
It was ridiculous.
Oh, and the crazy thing is, I remember when I was a kid and I was playing for the Carolina Cougars, right?
Yeah.
And one of my teammates was like, "Why you like Jerome Bettis? He's slow." I said, "You ever seen him?" I said, "You ever seen him play?" He was like, "Man, whatever." I was like, "Watch the game tomorrow. Watch the game tomorrow." Watch it. And Jerome Bettis went off.
Who said that?
Jerome Bettis went off.
You know, we need to institute the drag of the week. Who's getting dragged?
Oh, he rolled Pine. It's all good. He rolled Pine all season. He rolled Pine all season.
Yo, I can't believe somebody said that.
Yeah, he was tripping.
Let's keep it going. Okay, so what do you think? Ben gonna come back because they're talking about it, or there's a conversation about Mike Tomlin.
I have a feeling that Ben gonna give it one more go as far as career wise, and I think Mike Tomlin will stay in Pittsburgh for that go. That's just my feeling.
Why would you leave?
I wouldn't leave, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. Like, if I was either one of them, I wouldn't leave. But I get it, Big Ben getting up there in age, and he has a lot of upper body injuries. I get that, you know.
Plenty of money.
But if I was Big Ben, I would at least stick around and be quarterback coach some.
Well, not even that. If he wants to go for another go, he'll take a hit because he doesn't need no more money. I'm just serious.
Yeah, he got bread. He got bread.
He's straight no matter what you do.
Yeah.
He'll take a hit, but he wants another ring. I think that Drew Brees and also Ben Roethlisberger should get one more ring.
Well, Drew already announced it, though.
Yeah, I know, but remember how many people said I'm going to retire?
That's true.
And Brett Favre, number 1.
Yeah.
Hey, but wait a minute. Brett Favre would have got his just due if he had a line.
That's true. Brett Favre was scrapping his whole career.
Didn't Brett Favre get his just due? He went out with a bang, didn't he?
Yeah,
he left in a stretcher.
He knocked him out of the park. He had no line.
That was the permanent. It's over, Brett. Just lay down.
Anytime when the whole team is going to come to your house and get on their knees and beg you please to come back.
They let the floodgates open on him. I saw that joker just coming. Oh Lord, he gonna get hit. Boom.
Yeah,
and he just went.
I give it to Brett Favre though. He a scrapper, man, because he hasn't had a line his entire career for real. Like,
oh yeah,
he has something like it in Green Bay, you know. But other than that,
but what's up with Garoppolo? Y'all about to lose him tight?
Jimmy G, y'all about to lose Jimmy G?
What?
Look, I always said the Skins should have never let that man. No. We should have picked him up. The Patriots should have never let him go because that was the succession of the Patriots.
Oh yeah. Garoppolo. Garoppolo, like to be honest with you, man, like I like how he operate, but now I'm having questions about his durability. You know what I'm saying? I like what Jerry Rice said. Jerry Rice, you know, they asked Jerry Rice about what was that? Garoppolo, Matt Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, and I think one other and Watson or somebody. I can't think of who else he named. But anyway, Jerry Rice said he was going with the Ferrari. I'm assuming that's not Garoppolo. You hear me? Like,
right.
Garoppolo,
well, I mean,
not the Ferrari.
if you look at it though, what Deshaun Watson wants out and Matthew Stafford wants out, so it's gonna be some decent pickings.
Yeah, it'll be something out there.
There are a lot of teams that need QBs though. So.
But then at the same time, are we really getting an upgrade? You know what I'm saying? If we not going, you know, what I'm saying, the Niners not getting ready to pick up somebody that's getting ready to do it like I would love to have Josh Allen over there, man. Like get away from the Bills and come over there to the Niners. That'd be spectacular.
Oh,
But if you think about it, Josh Allen gonna glue himself to the Bills for the next 4 years. It's easy. Yeah, the Bills not gonna go nowhere.
yeah, they're gonna treat him like Barry Sanders. You want in a box? You ain't going nowhere.
You hear me?
I don't got him going nowhere.
So with that being said, do you think now that Jets got a new coaching I'm sorry. I have this thing running around. I've been saying all this time that now that Urban Meyer has now accepted to be a Jag, half of Ohio State is going to be represented in the Jags organization.
I doubt that.
Oh no! Somebody said Carson Wentz.
Absolutely not. Tyke, y'all want Carson Wentz money?
Nah, brother, we good. I saw what he did.
Absolutely not.
Hold on. I can't let y'all talk too bad about him, because if you notice, he has played hurt. He's also had no team to play with. He played with 4 strings.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Made it all the way to the postseason. I just think it's a curse with him and the Eagles,
Yeah.
because time he gets to the postseason, they just take him out completely, and then somebody else takes the helm.
That's true.
Ben DiNucci is the greatest quarterback ever.
Did you just say Ben DiNucci?
No.
My man's last name don't even sound like he belong on the field.
You hear me, man?
What?
He sound like a team manager out this joint.
It sounds like an Italian dish.
That way he tried to hack us real quick with a.
No, sir.
Gosh, why did you say that?
Now, what I will say is Carson Wentz does need out of Philly.
Yes. But you got to check his status. The problem, I think, the reason
He's
why
never healthy.
No, I think he's unhealthy only to the point that he's been concussed.
Right.
He's 50 times getting sacked.
Yeah.
That's another Jason Campbell. That's another what's his name? Because you know Jason Campbell went to the Raiders and he did pretty decent.
Yeah, Jason Campbell was a good quarterback. We just didn't have a line for him.
He went south.
Jason Campbell was okay.
We didn't have a line for him.
He was the greatest, but I said if you got to give him the opportunity to be great, but if you don't have a line in this game, you're toast. But Carson Wentz cussed. If he can't see the players or the play opening up,
right,
he cussed. So if somebody's sitting up here saying he's this trash, he's this, he's that, we can't do anything about that. Somebody just said Wentz to 49ers or Rams backup. Why would you make him a backup?
I could see him in the Rams system over the 49ers system for some reason.
Now, when they say backup for the Niners, now I could see that only due to the fact that, you know what I'm saying, Carson Wentz is going to be better than Beathard. He's going to be better than Mullins. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I can see him getting us further than those quarterbacks did after Garoppolo went down. You know what I'm saying? But
honestly, I could see him backing up for the Rams too, because their backup looked like he was like in 8th grade or something. Like,
but when you say backup, like, is he ready to be that?
Yeah, because injury or not, it's still fairly early in his career.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think he should be playing backup.
I don't think he should be a backup, but I get where that came from.
That's what he can be.
Well,
if you guys don't think he should be, I don't think he thinks the same. You know,
he should have went to the Broncos because Broncos picked up Andy Dalton. I can't believe it.
Why though? But why though?
I don't know. But guess what? Andy Dalton is a postseason quarterback.
He
Yeah.
was a postseason quarterback when
Keyword.
his hair matched the helmet of the team he played on.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Oh God.
But again, just like Pat Mahomes, I told everybody Joe Burrow is the truth. And it was like, yeah, that's just because he got a lot around him. And then he came as a true rookie in the NFL and was doing his thing until he came nuts and got hurt because he was running too high. You can't scramble like that in the NFL, son.
You gotta go welcome to the NFL here.
You can't do that. You can't.
So did y'all see the post that I made about the top quarterbacks?
I think I saw it a bit. I was at work, so I didn't really look into it.
Man, y'all got to take a look at that one. All right, so what's next on the docket, Mr. Lavelle?
All right, so if I may, top 10 prospects.
Top 10. All right, let's go.
Let's hear it.
All right, so we got Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, Clemson. Jamar
Absolutely.
Chase, wide receiver, LSU.
Okay.
Penei Sewell, left tackle, Oregon. Heisman winner Devontae Smith, wide receiver, Bama.
Mhm.
Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida. Micah Parsons, linebacker, Penn State. Justin
Question.
Fields, Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio. Zach Wilson, quarterback, BYU. Kwity Paye, defensive end, Michigan. And Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, Alabama. Oh, and the honorable mention, Patrick Surtain II, Alabama, cornerback.
Okay.
That's a pretty good setup.
Yeah, like quarterback Rich, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but well, see, here's going to be your issue. There's too many good quarterbacks, or quote unquote, too many quarterbacks that have entered in within the last year. So you're going to have to decide who's going to last through training camp.
Okay,
Anyway.
so
Defensive draft.
I actually did my homework on on these players too. Now, from me seeing their gameplay, from me getting the analysis from them and all that good stuff, I as far as what they bring to the table and their needs, like we can kick it off with the quarterbacks, since Josh brought that up. But Trevor Lawrence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Lawrence has a strong arm. He's a great pocket precision. He has a great pocket presence. You know what I'm saying? He lets plays develop, all these great things. He has great accuracy, all that good stuff. Honestly, as a player, I feel like Chicago, Indianapolis, Minnesota, New Orleans, even the Bucks could all use them. Could all use him, rather. Who he may end up going to? Probably the Jags or the Jets. And that's just off image alone, and what he's done in college. Of course, with the highest draft pick, if you need a quarterback, that's who you're going after.
That's what I was gonna ask you. You think that's gonna be what the Jets go for right off the break?
That's a good question, because I really feel like they're not going to go for that as their first pick. They may pick a quarterback in the first round, but I don't think they're going to go quarterback their first pick.
Right.
I really don't. Really don't.
And considering, like, just real quick, considering, like, even with the Niners, like, looking for a quarterback, not necessarily in this particular draft, but some of these guys aren't going to fall that low, meaning like they're going to get snatched up quick. So you're not going to get another opportunity.
Because I guarantee you, if Trevor Lawrence is there when we're on the docket,
you hear me?
we're going to get him.
I'm already
We're
shocked.
gonna draft him,
Yeah,
So do you think Do you think teams draft what's best available or what they need now these days?
It depends. It depends. It depends on who's making the decision.
exactly.
It depends on who's making the decision. It depends on how solid the team is developing wise.
Right.
So, like, if you have a team that's somewhat there, but don't really need to, kind of break the bank on, snatching up players to fit their system, they're probably more so going to go. We can get that from free agency. Let's go for somebody, somebody high up there and just get an all-star off the bat.
Exactly.
But then you have players that are in the developing stage that really, really need something solid at this position, that position, this position, that position. And those are the teams that are going to make those decisions off of team needs.
Yeah, see, for me, I love my Cowboys, but I think they got cute. I like CeeDee Lamb, but I don't think we need him. I think we needed more important things on defense, and it showed it this year.
Well, first of all, I think if Dallas will get smart and actually hire a real GM instead of Jerry Jones being the owner and the GM and everything else, and he's making personnel decisions. I mean, yes, we know Jerry has played ball. We understand that. But sometimes you got to let somebody else do it. Give somebody else, because see, here's the thing. In this draft, if you notice around the whole entire league, there are more new head coaches than there are, in the history of football itself. Okay.
Yes.
Everybody has changed the guard completely. I mean, and I'm talking about from personnel directors to GMs, everything.
Yeah.
It's changed. The whole front is different. So when you're talking about now, the draft boards are going to look very, very strategic. You have to build a system, a brand new system. Some systems are going to fail first year, and some are going to be successful. But you also got to understand, you got to realize what's going on this year. So I kind of say, and I always said, just call this whole season a bust.
Yeah.
And rebuild. Why? Because there was a lot of nuances that happened this season that caused players to be unhealthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I totally agree.
So now there's a level playing field. The NFL is about to get a real smash mouth. It's on coaching wise. It's going to be programs that are going to be on point wherever you go, because hey, listen, it's new.
Yep. And
decisions are new.
And to piggyback off that, there's going to be a lot of there's also going to be a lot of competing between teams head coach wise, because now Urban Meyer is being added to the NFL. He's going to try to bring that that college togetherness to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's going to rally them. And I honestly feel like if he puts some solid people on that coaching staff and build and really develop that team, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, and that's going to make everybody else look around like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? We got to show up, because they going to show out. They ain't got nothing to lose.
How do you think that's going to take?
I'll give it a good solid.
Definitely not a year.
Nah, I'll give it a solid couple years. I would say, if anything, I would say the fastest, maybe 3 years. I would say 3 to 6. Maybe.
But you also
which coach has stayed that long that had a failed record that they gave a chance on?
Urban Meyer doesn't have a failed record. He's just getting there. So he could have a slightly decent record his first couple seasons, and they'd be like, okay, we see what you're doing, so we'll keep you around. It's a possibility.
Let's say he goes. Let's say he goes 4-12 back-to-back 2 seasons. You think they're gonna keep him?
Well,
I think they'll give him one more solid shot. Yeah,
I doubt that.
You have to give a coach a fighting chance. Yeah. This is the NFL. You can't build a system in 2 years.
And think about this, Lavelle.
It takes almost 4 years. It's just like presidency,
right?
And, you have to. It takes 4 years to really establish a foundation.
And Lavelle,
I was just gonna say, I think teams are looking for coaches that can do it in 3, man. Like if you do it in 3, you out of there.
But think about this. Think about this also. I feel the reason why I feel as though they'll give him at least 3 years is because look at the kind of rapport that Urban Meyer has in the football world. They're going to respect him enough to at least give him 3 seasons to try. You know what I'm saying?
But how can you do that from the ground up?
It's hard, but it can be done.
Hey, I see somebody put up there. What was that? Patrick Surtain. Just taking a quick look at that and the needs around the NFL, man. I go right back to the 49ers, man. I swear if he stays right about where he is in that draft and that's where he gets selected at, yeah, the 49ers grabbing him up.
Now, this is what I have to say about Patrick Surtain Jr. He is a solid player. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot of interception ability. He has good hands. He has ability to knock the ball away. He's constantly on the ball. Problems with him, he has trouble closing gaps. Sometimes gets caught looking in the backfield, gets burned deep. But they may develop that out of him in the NFL, especially because, you know, his dad, you know what I'm saying, his dad was kind of good at that. I have a strong feeling that the Cowboys are going to snatch him up in this draft.
You think that's what's going that's going to be their need? That's going to be their biggest need?
I'm not saying that's their biggest need, but I think they're going to try to find a way to get him.
That's on the offensive line. Terrence Smith.
However, though, as far as teams that need him, 49ers was first on my list.
Yeah.
So now that now that's being said, so what do you think is going to happen? Which I think here's a little homework for everybody. We got to do a draft board and actually go and look at who's going to go where and why, and then kind of make it a little fun on that note, because I think we all have enough knowledge to understand football and how it's going to, how these people are going to do. I really believe Urban Meyer is going to do well only because he knows how to create a system.
Yep.
He is a system coach. If you know how Ohio has played, he's always installed a system. And he's going to have to find, which I think Trevor Lawrence or the other guy from Alabama, Josh, if I'm not mistaken, they are system quarterbacks. So if he's eyeing them right now, he's going to pick up either one of those.
Yeah.
And we also got to understand that when he builds a system, he always builds line and defensive secondary as well. As if you notice that he's always had an airstrike, but he's always had a defense that followed up. You just like Riviera, he's a defensive coach from the get-go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pete Carroll does his thing.
Yeah, and see, you also got to understand too. Now that the Washington football team has now married some of the old format with the Carolina Panthers GM, and also we have the first 2 black president and GM. They the nuance is at least 3 of those guys have played ball for the Redskins and were Super Bowl ring holding. So you're going to this is what I've been talking about for years. I said you got to go back to the old school where the steel curtain was around. When you're talking about the Hogs, when you're talking about when the Bears were relentless, okay? You're talking about when you knew it was about to go down with Joe Montana, okay? So you also got to look at when the Seahawks, nobody's talking about Pete Carroll. Nobody's talking about, Russell Williams. Well, Russell Williams, Jesus. But you also got to realize that they, if you notice, the Seahawks are very quiet. Okay?
Now,
but they've managed to get to the postseason.
Now, I just want to put this in there, to piggyback on the team building. And this is not me being biased, it's me being realistic. This is my team, but this is me being realistic. For Washington to be a contender, pick up a solid safety that can back up Troy Apke. Pick up a solid middle linebacker that can control the defense. Flip it around on offense. We can get a young, solid tight end to back up Logan Thomas. We need a solid quarterback, but I'm not completely out on Tyler Heineke because I like the heart he plays with.
That was one game.
What?
And then hold on, don't even let that distract you. As far as our running backs go, we're good. We got it. We have a running back that can catch out the backfield in J.D. McKissick. We have a solid young running back in Antonio Gibson, and then we have a downhill runner in Peyton Barber. Now, receiving core, Terry McLaurin will die in that uniform. But the only problem with that is he's the only solid target we have because I'm not sold on neither one of the Sims. However, if a healthy Kelvin Harmon stays on this team, that's our solid slot receiver right there. And then I say we go Jamar Chase in the draft for a possession receiver.
But I think we also
he's not even going to fall to y'all.
I don't think he will either, but it's a chance.
It's an opportunity. I mean, how do you think Haskins was he was actually deemed to go in the first round, first pick.
He was a first round, first to 15.
Yeah, but he
was supposed to go first pick though. That's why he was so upset.
But you also got to understand, now that he knows he's had his 2 years of playing. If he goes to the Steelers, he's going to get some work.
Yeah.
He's going to get some work.
I think he's going to be a better quarterback.
Well, I mean, it truly depends on how he matures.
Good old Steelers do it again.
I think everybody that leaves Washington is good.
All right, well,
That's not necessarily true, but okay.
Well, real quick, we're going to take a quick break for a second. We will be right back. We are back. Down show, sports show. Hey guys, all right. Let's try to
I can't hear you. Also,
get ourselves together here. Um, so what's some of our closing things we need to talk about?
I say we jump right in the ring and say who's gonna boom or bust out of the projected top tens.
Ooh,
I figured I figured we'd give our Super Bowl prediction.
That's better. We can boom or
All
bust
right.
next show.
oh shit.
I'm going
So-
with the O, man. I'm going with the O.
Going with the old man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the O, man. Like, I really would like for the young man to do it again, but yeah, Tom got a way of kind of just that experience that he's bringing to the whole Super Bowl thing. I know Younger got his little experience, but it's a grown man thing out there right now. You hear me?
I feel you.
I think
I feel you. I respect that. I respect
I
that.
just think real battle.
Yeah. Me and my personal opinion, I think my man Pat gonna do it again. I respect Tom, don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying, but I think Pat gonna do it again. It's gonna be a battle though, just like you said, Josh. It's gonna be a tough game.
Yeah.
This gonna be a Super Bowl right here.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle of the air, and see who's got the real running game.
Yeah.
Also, you got to understand, Patrick Mahomes is carrying a healthy squad right now.
Yeah.
And you also got to understand Patrick, though he may had a concussion at one point, he's able to manage it.
Yeah.
And still get through. And even if his backup comes in, they're still capable of winning it.
And to be honest with you, I don't remember ever seeing a quarterback that can run a completely different direction and throw a cross body 60 yards down the field accurately until Patrick Mahomes.
That is true to an extent. Donovan McNabb was
Oh,
able
got
to
you.
do that.
Yeah.
Also, Michael Vick was able to do that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was Michael Vick.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but no, I get you.
I mean, but you also got to understand Patrick Mahomes. It can be he's a dual threat.
Yeah,
Okay, he can be in the pocket as well as he can be a mobile quarterback.
and see, I think a lot of people forget that. I think a lot of teams forget that he can run.
Yes, he can. If the pocket collapse, he turns into Houdini.
Yeah,
And he gets out of close call situations. I was like, dude, how did he get out of that? I don't know. I will never know. But he's able to do that. And then he just takes it and runs with it. And then we're like, we're in trouble. So, but he's able to keep the play going.
Yeah.
That's what's going to be the difference. See, Tom Brady as well as Patrick Mahomes, their ability, they're two comeback quarterbacks, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, it's going to be a very high-scoring game.
yes,
So I really predict it's going to be like a 46-55 type deal.
yeah,
Okay. And the reason why I say that is because there's too many strikers on either end, and there's too many ball movements.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady is able to fit that ball in wherever he wants to.
yeah.
So that's one thing. But also, you got Tyreek Hill, you got who else? You got a whole slew of air attacks, and then he also got a decent running back.
Yeah, because Clyde Edwards-Helaire, my man is, and to just bring it back a little bit, could you imagine if Kareem Hunt was still a part of the Chiefs with Clyde Edwards-Helaire backing him up? Jesus,
Sleep.
Jesus. Boy, that's Patrick Mahomes wouldn't even have to throw the ball no more. Just here. No, Clyde, here. No, go ahead.
But you also got to understand too. When this game is going to be decisively won, and defensively because they have to shut down
Yeah.
the air.
Yeah.
If you don't shut down the air between both of these teams, I'm sorry, it would have to be the battle of the ground
it's
game.
gonna be it's gonna come down to the ground game, and it's gonna come down to whose secondary crumbles first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Tyke, what do you think?
Well, I mean, as far as like I said, I'm looking at Tampa winning the gem. Now, my thing is, you made a comment. You said a high scoring game. Of course, it's definitely going to be a high scoring game. But the numbers you said, that's like 100 points. You think it's going to be a 100-point game?
I mean,
I
with all
predicted at
the
least 70.
I'm going 80. I'll go 80, 100.
I mean, come on, think about it. You got two teams that are you're talking about Andy Reid and you're talking about Brian Leftwich.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
At one point they were in the same vicinity of each other.
Yeah, that's a lot of no defense out there for those numbers now.
Well, no, it's not. That's why I'm saying if it's going to be more of a defensive game because offensively, Patrick Mahomes is going to get it to his man.
Yep.
Tom Brady's going to definitely get it to his man.
Yeah.
It's that's it. But the thing is, you have to. If I was the coach, and I got to go up against Tom Brady, I got to take away his air. Period. I mean, my cornerbacks and my safeties got to be well all over the place. Okay.
And honestly, if you think about it, I'm about to say, if you think about it on paper, they have the same. I wouldn't say they're even, but they have the same assortments of weapons as far as
yes,
a 1-2 punch at running back. Whereas Tampa Bay has, Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette, which was another one I was talking about while he was in college. And then you have Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell or Darrell Williams because they like to use him over Le'Veon. But then you got two solid tight ends, one on each team. And then both teams has their speedster and, Tampa having Scotty Miller, KC having Ty Hill. And then, each team has two somewhat fast, decent possession receivers where Tampa has Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. KC has Sammy Watkins and McCall Hardman. So on paper, they have the same assortment of weapons. So it could be that high of a scoring game. And then, both you got Andy Reid, who is a quarterback guru, like offense is him. And then you have Byron Leftwich, who was good as a player, great as a coach. So, I mean, you got a point.
I mean, think about it this way: if you take away the air, it's going to be the battle of the running backs, and who can crash through that line. And then on top of that, what you're also going to see too, because it's going to be very difficult, you're going to see a lot of trick plays.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
a lot of trick plays. So Lavelle, what you think?
I think that KC is going to definitely take it. It's definitely going to be a battle, but I think they're going to come with the W because of the talent and the receivers. Tyreek Hill is a force to be reckoned with. I don't think Tampa can handle that.
But here I'm gonna be devil's advocate real quick. What did they take him out?
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Take who out?
Ty Hill.
Tyreek.
If they sit Tyreek Hill at any point in that game because of gassing out or whatever, that would be an opportunity for Tampa's defense to capitalize, but I'm not sure how big of an opportunity that would be. Because they'll put all their focus on Travis Kelce. This is just my opinion, but say Kansas City sits Tyreek Hill, Tampa's defense will put all their focus on Travis Kelce. Boom, McCall Hardman's gone wide open 20 yards down the field, you know, and then say they shifted to him. We forgot Sammy Watkins was even on the team, like coming across the middle, he catching them slants out of nowhere. You know, I mean, it's a possibility, but I say a slim one.
But also, you got to also look at there's going to be a lot of double teams coming out.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think on both defenses, there definitely going to be a lot of double teams happening.
Okay. Well, I guess it's going to be 1 versus 3. KC, so it's going to take it. Let's see. All right.
Man, we'll see where it goes.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Well, it was a pleasure to do this test run of the First Down Sports Show with Titan the Boss, W. Lavelle, Wolf.
How about them boys?
Oh no! Don't do that again. Please.
Can we zoom
You
into
gonna break
this
the camera, bro? Come on, man.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Hold on.
Is it?
There it is. There we go.
That's how you put the shine on that.
All right, y'all. So it was a pleasure to give you this test. We'll be going live mostly more than likely on Sundays in the evening. So please stay tuned, watch, get your questions in. We can see your chat. So come out, talk to us, have a good conversation with us. It's your boy JW. I am Dr. New Life, and we're